Welcome back. It's 8:26 a.m. Our first interview on standby, and that, of course, is Chrispin Phiri. He is the spokesperson for the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, and they have released a media statement. It's headed "South Africa concerned at continued escalation of hostilities in the Middle East." And of course, going on to say there is, and the concern is this continuing escalation of military action by the apartheid state of Israel on Palestine and now the Lebanese Republic, as well as a subsequent response by the Islamic Republic of Iran. Welcome to the program, Chrispin. Let's talk about this media statement that was released and understand the intent and what we as South Africans should read this as, and how do we then respond, and what is the type of action, hopefully, that, we should be taking regarding this press statement.
Thank you very much for having me on your show, and good morning to our listeners and also viewers on Salam Media. We are definitely concerned about the continued escalation of hostilities in the Middle East, because ultimately what concerns us is that the people who are most harmed is the most vulnerable. We continue to see almost like a tit for tat type of approach. Instead of us having a diplomatic solution to these issues, we are seeing more military action. And as a result, we are seeing more and more of a humanitarian crisis, um, if you like, now beginning to migrate from Gaza to Lebanon. And this now is becoming really an issue of deep concern. But I think what's even more disturbing is the decision by the State of Israel to make the Secretary General of the United Nations persona non grata. And really, that is something that is an affront on international law, and it's an affront on the system of multilateralism. And, one can just try and imagine what would happen if it was any other state, a small state, maybe even on the African continent, that decided that the Secretary General of the United Nations is persona non grata for condemning actions that really go against the full grain and spirit of the United Nations Charter and all the aspects of international law. And then someone then decides, no, the Secretary General of the United Nations is persona non grata. It's really the highest level of assault over and above already the actions that we are seeing, the extrajudicial killings that we've seen, the strikes on humanitarian infrastructure and actually also civilian infrastructure, both in Gaza and in Lebanon. Now we are seeing these type of actions, these type of escalations. It really is a cause for concern.
Well, it just goes to show that the apartheid state of Israel truly believe they are a law unto themselves. And I think they are emboldened because they have the full support of the United States. When Iran struck out in defense to Israel, Biden was the first world leader to suggest that they will continue supporting apartheid Israel to the best of their ability, and they will not let this continue. Keir Starmer from the UK expressed similar situations, which indicates that as far as these Western leaders are concerned, that black and brown lives do not matter. That's the one issue. And then coming to the UN and Antonio Guterres, it just shows the disregard and the, I guess, narcissistic attitude of apartheid Israel, of Netanyahu, to make these types of statements almost he almost is suggesting that nothing and no one can touch him or the apartheid state of Israel. So it's very, very arrogant on his part, and it indicates that if he can say this about another white man, they have absolutely no respect or regard for the brown people that they are ethnically cleansing in Palestine.
Yes, and
Chrispin.
I think that analysis definitely has resonance, and this is for the same reason that we really continue to call for the reform of an institution like the United Nations and even the Security Council itself, because clearly, if it's paralyzed to this effect, where states can act with impunity and international law is sacrificed at the altar of not even international law, human lives are sacrificed at the altar of egos and so on. It then really creates a scenario where we we will not have a basis for us to continue with a multilateral system, and we really think that this is something that needs to change, not as a matter of
Okay, Chris,
convenience, but with great urgency.
absolutely. And we will obviously be watching this space. I know that you are driving and the reception is breaking up. So let's leave it there. Thank you indeed for that media release. Hopefully, we will engage with your department in the near future. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
very
your
much.
time.